I found out my husband had a second phone because it rang while he was in the shower. Not vibrated, not buzzed, rang, loud, sharp, panicked. It wasn't his usual ringtone, this one was softer, almost romantic. A piano melody I'd never heard before, and I remember just standing there in our bedroom staring at the nightstand like it had grown teeth. My name is Alina Brooks, I'm 39 years old. And the night that phone rang, I realized I had been sleeping next to a stranger for 12 years. The screen lit up again. Don't ignore me, I'm scared. No name, just a number. My stomach tightened. My hands were cold but steady. Too steady? Like my body had already accepted something my mind was still trying to deny. From the bathroom, I could hear Marcus humming. Carefree, comfortable, the sound of a man who thought he was safe. The phone rang again. I picked it up. I don't know why I picked it up. Maybe instinct, maybe survival, maybe the quiet voice inside me that had been whispering for months that something wasn't right. I swiped to answer. Silence. Then a woman's voice, shaky. Marcus. Please don't hang up, I can't do this alone. My throat went dry. This isn't Marcus, I said. The silence on the other end changed. It thickened. Oh, just that, oh. Then she whispered, you don't know, do you? I didn't ask what she meant. I already knew. I'm his wife, I said. My voice didn't sound like mine. Another silence. Then very quietly, I'm 6 months pregnant. The bathroom water shut off. I felt my heartbeat in my ears. I didn't know he was married at first, she rushed. He said you were separated. He said. The bathroom door opened. Marcus stepped out with a towel around his waist, steam following him. He saw the phone in my hand, he saw my face, and whatever mask he had been wearing for 12 years slipped. Who is that? He asked. I looked at him, really looked at him, and for the first time I didn't see my husband. I saw a man calculating. She says she's 6 months pregnant, I told him calmly. The woman on the phone started crying. Marcus lunged for the phone. I stepped back. No, I said quietly. You don't get to control this. His face shifted, anger, panic, irritation. Alina, give me the phone, the woman whispered. He told me he loved me. I laughed. It came out broken. He told me that this morning. Marcus grabbed his jeans from the chair and started dressing fast, like putting on clothes could put control back on the situation. Listen, he said, trying to steady his voice. This isn't what you think. That sentence, that useless, exhausted sentence. I pressed speaker. Tell her, I said. Tell her I'm not your wife. The woman's breathing hitched. Marcus stared at me. He didn't speak. He couldn't. Because lying in front of me was harder than lying behind my back. He told me you were unstable, the woman said softly, that you were emotionally dependent and wouldn't sign the divorce papers. Something inside me didn't shatter. It cooled. You're not the first, I said, still looking at Marcus. The woman inhaled sharply. What? I smiled faintly. I found hotel receipts 3 months ago. He said it was business. I found a bracelet in his car. He said it was a client's. I found distance in his eyes. He said I was imagining it. Marcus ran a hand through his wet hair. This is insane, he muttered. No, insane would have been screaming. I felt something much more dangerous. Clarity. I turned to the woman. What's your name? Jasmine. Jasmine, I said gently. Does he come to you late at night saying he feels misunderstood? Silence. Yes. Does he tell you he's never felt this connected to anyone before? Her breath broke. Yes, I nodded slowly. He said that to me 12 years ago. Marcus slammed his hand against the dresser. Stop it, Alina. I looked at him calmly. You're right, I said. Then I walked into the closet. He followed. Where are you going? I pulled out my suitcase, his face drained. You're not leaving. I paused. That sentence, that entitlement. You don't get to decide that, I said softly. Jasmine was still on speaker. You didn't know, she asked. I zipped the suitcase halfway. No, I said, but I suspected. Marcus stepped closer, lowering his voice. Alina, think about this. We can fix this. Fix, I almost smiled. You're having a child with another woman. We'll figure something out like I was a scheduling conflict, like I was paperwork. I turned to Jasmine. Does he plan to leave me? Marcus's jaw tightened. Jasmine hesitated. He said, eventually, 12 years of marriage reduced to eventually. I closed the suitcase. I'm not angry at you, I told her. I never wanted to hurt you, she cried. You didn't, I said. He did, Marcus's voice sharpened. Stop turning this into some performance. I walked toward him slowly. Do you love her? He hesitated. That hesitation was louder than any answer. I don't know, he said. I nodded. That was enough. I picked up my purse. Alina, don't be dramatic. Dramatic, I laughed softly. You built a second life, I said. I'm simply stepping out of it. He reached for my wrist. I pulled away. Don't touch me. Jasmine spoke again, voice trembling. I didn't know about you, I swear. I believe you, I said. Marcus looked at me like I'd betrayed him. Strange, he cheated, but my composure felt like betrayal to him. I walked to the door. Where are you going? He demanded. Somewhere peaceful. You're throwing away 12 years. I looked back at him. No, I said quietly, you did that. And then I left. The hallway outside our apartment felt different. Quieter, like the building itself knew something had shifted. In the elevator, my hands finally started shaking, not from heartbreak, from awakening. I had ignored signs, subtle ones, him guarding his phone. Him accusing me of being paranoid, him saying I was too emotional, too sensitive, too intense. Gaslighting doesn't feel violent, it feels confusing until the truth lands, and when it lands, it rearranges everything. I stayed at a hotel that night. I didn't cry, not immediately. I stared at the ceiling and replayed every moment of the past year, every time he dismissed me, every time I doubted myself. Every time I apologized for things that weren't wrong. Around 2 a.m. my phone buzzed, unknown number. It was Jasmine. I'm sorry, she wrote. I'm scared. I stared at the message for a long time, then I replied. So was I. 3 weeks later, I filed for divorce. Marcus tried to convince me it was impulsive, emotional, but clarity isn't impulsive. It's earned. He moved in with Jasmine. They tried to make it work. But relationships built on deception don't grow roots. They survive on adrenaline, and adrenaline fades. I heard through mutual friends that they argued constantly, trust issues, jealousy, suspicion. He was shocked she didn't trust him. The irony, 6 months later she had the baby, a boy. Marcus sent me one last message. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. I stared at it, then deleted it. Because sometimes being the best thing that happened to someone means they weren't the best thing for you. It's been 2 years now. I'm 41. I live in a smaller apartment with sunlight in the mornings. I started painting again. Something I stopped because he said it was impractical. I sleep peacefully. No hidden phones, no second lives, no doubt in my own instincts. Sometimes betrayal doesn't destroy you, sometimes it reveals your strength. Your boundaries, your refusal to stay where you are not respected. If you're listening to this and something in your chest feels tight, if you've been ignoring signs, if someone has been making you question your own reality, pause. Listen to yourself. Because the scariest thing isn't losing someone, it's losing yourself trying to keep them. And I promise you this, peace feels better than loyalty to someone who lies, every single time. If this story touched something inside you, if it gave you courage or reminded you that your intuition matters, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment and tell me where you're listening from. Let's remind each other that we are stronger than betrayal. And if this story meant something to you, stay with us for more stories of truth, strength, and survival. God bless.